The world has changed, and it's gotten harder than ever to get great new clients with old, worn out tactics. Paid ads are less effective than they're more expensive than ever after Apple's changes. Online content and SEO are about to get destroyed with ChatGPT. Even social media has become the online equivalent of advertising in the restroom. Maybe you feel obscure, unknown, the best kept secret. I understand. Hi, I'm Tom Schwab. I'm the founder of Interview Valet, and I'm here to tell you that there's no better time to be alive. If you're a high-level coach or a consultant, if you have a growing brand, if you're a great, smart entrepreneur, you can talk directly to your ideal customers, and it's easier than you think. You see, studies have shown that your ideal customers are listening to podcasts. They're above average education. They're above average income. 70% of them listen to the entire episode. These are early adopters. They're looking for new ideas and for change. They're looking for you. Now, you don't need your own podcast. That's too much work, and it takes way too long to drive results. If you're looking for new exposure, for new leads, for new sales, it's much better to leverage other people's existing audience as a guest. Turn their listeners into your customers. Now, I'm going to show you the strategy on how to do this. You see, results are what matter. And results come from three things: message, market, and machine. They all multiply on themselves. So if one is weak, the entire result is weak. First, your message. Do you have stories to tell, not just a product to sell? You see, podcasts are not infomercials. They're a great place to get that know, like, and trust. As Rand Fishkin says, the best way to sell something today is not to sell anything, but to earn the respect, awareness, and trust of those who might buy. That's what you're doing on podcast interviews. That's what our client Gavin Zaklinski did when he launched and quickly grew Acuity Scheduling. He went out there and he told his story of building his business for a mom. He shared the company's values and visions. It's no wonder that when Squarespace made its first acquisition, they acquired Acuity Scheduling. Podcast interviews, we've helped Aaron Walker scale his coaching business. Before he started, he described himself as being in the witness protection plan. And in less than 2 years of doing targeted podcast interviews, he filled up his one-on-one clients. He filled up 10 paid mastermind groups that drove over $500,000 a year in revenue. Heck, he even launched and landed a book deal. Your market is the next fundamental piece. Who do you want to talk to, and how can you help them? Maybe you're like Craig Cody. Craig is a CPA and a tax advisor. While he's a retired New York City detective, he serves clients around the U.S. He reported a 600% return on investment at 12 months and 1,200% at 2 years. You got to love accountants. They know their numbers. You also need data about your market. If you aren't licensing all the databases to make decisions, you're not podcast guesting, you're podcast guessing. Carrie Wilkerson, a keynote speaker and author of The Barefoot Executive, that's what she told us. You see, she had done podcast appearances in the past, but she said that when she started to work with Interview Valet, her list grew 10 times as fast. Finally, there's the machine. How do you move people from being a passive listener to an active visitor to an engaged lead? Without this, podcast guesting, it's like fishing without a hook. We've worked with HubSpot to get their leaders featured on targeted podcast interviews. With our process, they could attribute all their traffic. They also looked at all of our data and agreed that 3 calls to action always convert best: a small yes, a medium yes, and a heck yes. Now, some digital marketers will call this heresy, but we've got 9 years of experience serving over 1,500 clients, helping them get on over 75,000 interviews. You see, we produce the data that leads the industry. Some of our clients have huge teams already, like Barbara Turley from the Virtual Hub. She has hundreds of VAs. You see, sending out pitches and getting on random shows was not her constraint, but she wanted real business results. And that's what you need. You need the machine and someone who knows how to drive it for results. So remember, results come from three things: message, market, and machine. But if someone tells you that their strategy works for everyone, they're lying. They're either lying to themselves or they're lying to you. You see, podcast interview marketing won't work for you if your ideal clients are very local. If what you're selling has a really low cost, it's not a relationship sale, or you don't have a website or social media to present you as an expert. Over the last 9 years, we've also found that the best results have come from two major verticals: the health, nutrition, and wellness vertical and the business vertical. Now, business is very large. It includes business, entrepreneurship, leadership, sales, marketing, investing. See, podcast interview marketing isn't for everyone, and we aren't for everyone. Most people are coming to us because they've been on podcasts and they're just not seeing results. Or their current channels are drying up. They need to add another channel to hit their goals. They're moving dollars from pay-per-click or PR to create evergreen content that produces evergreen results. Maybe you're like HubSpot or Prezi or Lockheed Martin. You know your numbers and you see what the next big thing is. Maybe you just have a gut feeling that what you're doing now is not working. So now you really have to ask yourself, is what you are doing working? Is it trending up or trending down? Will it get you to where your goals are? If you're still here, I can probably guess the answer. But before you invest another precious dollar or minute, I'd invite you to consider how you could hit your goals with podcast interview marketing. Now, there's two ways I'd like to help you. First, I'd like to give you a copy of my book, Podcast Guest Profits: How to Grow Your Business with the Targeted Interview Strategy. Christopher Lochhead, he's one of the fathers of category design. He called it the Bible of podcast guesting. You can scan this QR code or just click the link below, and I'd be happy to send you a copy. Second, if you're wondering how this could work for your business, let's talk. Our team would be happy to learn about your business and present you with a custom roadmap of how you could leverage podcast guesting. It'll include some suggested podcasts and lessons we've learned from clients similar to you over the last 9 years. To set up your discovery call, you can either scan here or go down below and click there. See, what you do matters. You know in your heart that with your current product or service, you could help thousands, tens of thousands of people if they only knew about you. Help them and help yourself, and book a free discovery call today. Stay strong. The world needs to hear you now more than ever.
At Interview Ballet,
our mission is to personally
introduce
inspiring
thought leaders
to billions of ideal customers
they could serve
for the betterment of all.